एक मिनट. Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussie's group. My name is Malcolm and I'm your PT coach. Today, after a very long time, I'm back again with a live session. And yeah, it's been almost like 1 month since the last live session I did. So yeah, it's been a very productive month. In the month of September, many of my students got a score of 8 each. At least 50 students in Melbourne CBD branch, they got the score of 8 each. So I'm very happy. It was a very successful month for us personally as well. So the purpose of today's session, and I've titled it like, don't be fooled by rumors on PTE. Because these days, unfortunately, the market is flooded with rumors. There are a lot of rumors about everything to do with PTE. Also, a lot of information coming in from all the sides about the changes in the visa. Like recently, there was an update for the student visa, where I believe few countries, including India, were put on level 1. So I think because of that as well, there are a lot of things in the market, like things are not looking so good for Australia. What will happen? What may happen? All these thoughts, keep on coming up again and again. And that's what keeps people a bit confused, I think, and a bit demotivated as well. Well, on the plus side, I've seen that many of our students who have been taking coaching with us, even for NATI CCL, even they have been getting the positive results. And many of our students who took the NATI CCL test for the Hindi language, even they got a perfect result. So basically, we've got a 100% success ratio in for NATI CCL. So in case you're looking for coaching, you can just ping us. You can send us a message on Facebook as well, and we'll be more than happy to help you with that as well. And one more thing, we've got excellent team for migration as well. So we've got a lot of people coming in, especially from the Spanish-speaking countries, mainly Colombia, Venezuela, and we've got our new agent, whose name is Jorge. So if you're from Spain, or if mainly your Spanish is your mother tongue, so if you're from Colombia, Venezuela, anywhere, so please feel free to walk in, and our team will try their best to help you. And we've also got our team of agents who are from India, who are mainly from all around the world, mainly also from Malaysia, from Mauritius. So if you've got any queries regarding anything to do with PT or NATI or your visas, then please feel free to walk in. And I've got a comment from Taj Sidhu who says hello. So hello Taj, Sidhu, thanks for joining in. Good to see you back, and thanks for the comment as well. Well, the main purpose of today's live session, as I've said it, is that there's so much information, of everything. So people get swayed away pretty easily. And I've seen some videos from other institutes. Even like few months back, I made a similar video. And unfortunately, a few of the institutes, they came up with suddenly, very, very disparaging topics, like very, very, topics which they should not be saying in the public. For example, like PT is changing, PT is doing that, this has changed. Recently, they came up with one new video which I saw. In the video they put up on YouTube, they said that these days the results are taking a lot of time. So basically, PT has changed the scoring criteria, and that's why basically they've changed the algorithm of scoring. And that's one of the reasons that the results are taking so long to come out. Well, again, even last time when they put up this video, I put up this video of mine, which I asked that, what proof do you have, If you're putting such information out in public domain, you better have some strong evidence to back it up. Otherwise, just don't waste other people's time, and at least don't confuse people, This is like just confusing people and making them think things they should not be wasting their time on. But unfortunately, that's been happening a lot. Well, also one more thing, that like many people have been asking me, like these days we are getting only one essay. Earlier you used to get 2 essays also. So it's okay even if you get one essay, because in the PT guideline it's written very clearly that sometimes you can get one essay, or sometimes you could also get 2 essays. So I think that's okay. No need to worry about that. Just give me a second, guys. So I think the number of essays, even if you get like one essay, that's okay. Even if you get 2 essays, even that should be fine. So basically, PT can change the number of essays. So that's absolutely fine. There is no need to worry about that. It's very random. Similarly, these days, in the PT guideline, it's written that you can get either minimum 2 summaries for listening, and maximum could be 3. So the number given by PT is either 2 or 3 summarized spoken text questions. And as a trend these days, I've seen that most of the students, I mean by like 90% of the test takers in the last 1 month, they have been getting like 3 questions for summarized spoken text instead of 2. So even that's okay, no need to worry about it at all. Like I think, and actually 3 is better than 2. So the trend these days is like you generally get 2 writing summaries, which we call summarized written text. We get 1 essay. So the writing section generally has 3 questions these days. And in the listening section, as I'm saying, chances are very, very high that you'll be getting 3 questions for summarized spoken text, which is a good thing. And I've got a comment from Rose as well. She's saying hello. So hi Rose, good to see you over here. And Jack Smith also says hi. And thank you so much all for joining the session today. One more thing which I've been hearing a lot these days is that answer short questions, it's okay if you don't know them, you can just skip the answers. Now, I don't know who has said that. I don't know why that person or that institute has said that. But basically, answer short questions form a very important or integral part of your listening score. So if you want a high score in listening, then just listen to what I'm saying and try to be very, very accurate on answer short questions, because those contribute greatly towards your listening. So it's not that they get you a lot of marks, but if you don't give the right answers, then the listening score can go down very quickly. So that's the main problem with answer short questions. So just try to be a bit careful and try to be 100% accurate. And the good thing is that for answer short questions, most of the students tell me that most of the questions come from the September and the October prediction files of PTE-tutorials.com. So you can just Google PTE tutorials prediction files and you'll be getting the September and October prediction files over there. And as I'm saying, most of the answer short questions should be coming from those files. Even for write from dictation, I believe if you go through the August, September and October prediction files, which are prepared by PTE-tutorials.com, most of the write from dictation questions should come from those files, most of them. So I think 2 important tasks, that those are answer short questions and write from dictation, should be covered from the file. And if you're trying to take a full test, then obviously you can take it from PTE-tutorials.com. That would be pretty helpful. Now, one more thing which I always suggest is listening fill in the blanks, because that is one task where people do struggle, unfortunately, with the spelling. And if you write the wrong spelling, then obviously the score goes down very quickly, obviously. Well, I got a question from Taj Sidhu. And the question is, if you don't know the correct answer in answer short questions, what should we do? Well, the thing is, we can't keep our mouth shut, you know. Even if we don't know the answer, we'll have to say something. Otherwise, the software detects silence, and silence is not good for the score. So obviously, the score can go down. So even if you don't know the answer, just try to say one word from the question in the answer. That's all you should do. So for example, these days, there's a very common question which comes like, green is used for what? So even if you don't know the answer, just say green. So repeat just one word from the question. That's okay. I mean, it's the wrong answer, but still something to say is better than nothing to say. And actually the answer for that question is like environment. So that's the answer which the software expects you to say. So green stands for the environment. So just say something. All right, I've got a comment from Edeniji as well. So Ediola Edeniji, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining in. Hope things are good at your end. And Akshay says, hi, hello, good to see you, Akshay. And I look energetic. Thank you so much, thanks. And yeah, so I was talking about listening fill in the blanks. And listening fill in the blanks is one section where unfortunately people make a lot of spelling mistakes. Now, always I suggest that in case you're not sure about a spelling, it's better to leave the blank empty rather than take a chance. Because if you write the wrong spelling, there is a penalty. And if the penalty is on both listening and writing, because obviously if you write a wrong spelling, then it will not be the correct word, and the wrong spelling is the wrong spelling. So sometimes people also ask me that if we write another word instead of that word, will it be okay? So obviously it's not okay. Like if you hear lion as the audio, and if you write tiger, so obviously the spelling of tiger would be correct, but that's not the correct word which came in the audio. So again, there will be a penalty. So that's why I suggest, in case you're not sure, just don't take a chance. Instead of that, it's better to leave it. That's much, much better and much, much safer. All right. And one more thing, in write from dictation, I mean, these days, I think it's the best time to take PT right now, because most of the write from dictation questions are repeated. like 99% chance that you would be getting repeated questions and you would not get a new question. Chances are so high these days that most of the questions in write from dictation are repeated. Excuse me. But what happens is that PT obviously makes few changes to few words in the audio. So need to listen very carefully. Like, for example, there's a very popular question which comes these days in the exam. It's a very old question, still comes. So the question is like this, that animals raised in captivity behave differently with their wild counterparts. So this is a very old and a very important question for write from dictation. It comes, every day to a number of students worldwide. So now what happens, PT, as I said, they change it a bit. So what they ask in the audio is like, the actual audio is like, animals raised in captivity behave differently with their wild counterparts. So in the new version or in the changed version, they might ask like, animals raised in captivity behave differently than their wild counterparts. So in one audio, it's with their wild counterparts. In the other one, it's than their wild counterparts. So they make such changes. Now, if you write than instead of with, or if you write with instead of than, then obviously the score will go down a lot. So I'm not saying that you memorize all the answers, but obviously we should know the answers, because only then we can write something new if something new comes in the audio. At least we know the structure of the answer, that's why. Okay, so Mamta has a question. I'm planning to take the exam on 25th October. September and October prediction files. It helps in the exam? Yeah, definitely. Those files will definitely help with your exam. So those are the questions which are predicted to come. So those two files, and if you can also have a look at the August file, even that would be helpful. Even the July file you can look. So if you go through the last 4 months files, May, July, August, September, October, because we have been making the prediction files since a long time now, almost like 8 or 9 months now. So at least you have an idea about the pattern of the questions, the difficulty of the questions, and you can see that many questions in the real exam do come from the prediction files. So I'm not saying, rely only on the prediction files, but yeah, definitely those are very helpful. So yeah, they should be helpful. All right, I've got a question from Ethniji Adiola. I have an issue of read aloud that we should not stress on words. Can you please elaborate and if possible read a sentence? Yeah, I'll just read the same sentence which you've written, So sometimes what happens, people actually speak like this, like, sir, I have an issue of RA that we should not stress on words. Can you please elaborate and if possible read a sentence? So this is with a lot of stressing. Now, if it's flat, it's going to be something like this, like, sir, I have an issue of RA that we should not stress on words. Can you please elaborate and if possible read a sentence? So this voice was much flatter than the earlier tone. So it's not that we should not stress, but the problem is we should know which words we should stress on. So if you stress on the wrong words, then the score will go down. If you stress on the correct words, then yeah, it can go up. But it's more of a risk, and the rewards are lesser than the risk. That's the main problem. And that's why if you have a slightly flat voice, it's going to improve the clarity. And if the clarity improves, the score will also improve definitely. And that's the reason I suggest that try not to stress too much on the words. And try to be as fluid and as smooth as you can. No point being too soft or no point being too loud. Just speak in a very normal way. That's good enough. Alright, so Jack Smith has a comment. Hi sir, my reading score is 58, listening is 57, writing is 63, and I need 65. So where should I work more? Well, the thing is, you definitely need to work much more on your speaking, because you've not mentioned your speaking score. So I definitely think you need to work on your speaking. Speaking has to be 90 out of 90. And for most of the test takers, it's not difficult to get 90. Statistically speaking, like 5 out of 10 first time test takers also get like 90, or 4 out of 10, which is a very high ratio, according to me, high proportion, So it's not difficult. Try to focus on the correct way of speaking. Don't be too slow, don't be too fast, and try to master the tasks of read aloud and repeat sentence, because those two tasks are super important for the score in speaking, reading, and listening. Similarly, describe an image and read a lecture also contribute greatly towards your speaking and listening scores respectively. And as I already said some time back, if you want a very high score in listening, try to be 100% accurate in answer short questions. Because if you make mistakes in answer short questions, or if you don't know the answers, the score in listening can fall down very quickly. So these are the main issues, yeah. So I think I answered most of the questions, and if there are any more questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions as well. Okay. And one more thing is that I've seen that in writing, especially in summarized written text also, people get a bit confused, like which words are important, which words are not important to choose from the passage. So generally it's not fixed for every answer, but many times it's been seen that the last paragraph of the passage could have some very important information. So if you miss the information from the last paragraph, then obviously it's going to be a problem. So try to pick up at least something from the last paragraph of the passage in summarized written text. That should be very important for content. And sometimes if you think that you need to paraphrase your passage, then feel free to paraphrase from the passage. Sometimes even if you pick up the full sentence from the passage, it's okay if it makes sense. If not, then obviously you need to paraphrase it. And one more thing is that in summarized spoken text, I've seen so many people, they make mistakes. And as I said, you will be getting 3 summaries in summarized spoken text, because that's been the trend in the last 1 month at least. Like 95% of the people have been getting 3 questions for summarized spoken text. So maybe PT wants to test the listening and writing integrated skills more, or maybe, I don't know, they've been instructed to do so, I don't know. So that's maybe that could be one of the reasons they are checking a lot of summaries. And you will also come across people who tell you that they've got 3 questions for summarized spoken text and 4 questions for write from dictation. So if you think about it, the integrated tasks or the number of questions in the listening module, let's say you get 3 questions for summarized spoken text, 2 questions for fill in the blanks in listening, and 4 questions for write from dictation. So that's a total of 9 questions, which will give you marks in listening and writing both. That's a lot of questions, and that's a lot of marks as well. And generally I've seen that if your performance in the listening section is like perfect, your scores in writing will easily be somewhere around 45 to 55 marks from listening. So you can understand, around 45 to 55 marks in writing can come potentially from listening. So that's the thing. So need to be a bit careful over there as well. All right. Hassam Ahmed has a comment. Hi sir, after the masterclass with you, I got 87 in speaking and 85 in reading, which is very good. But unfortunately, writing is 69 and listening is 70. Where do I need to work? I need 79 each. Thanks. Well, Hassam, it's good to know that you've got 87 in reading. But the problem is obviously listening is 70 and writing is 69. So 100% you're making mistakes in summarized spoken text. That's for sure. Second thing, from your score, it seems that you have made mistakes even with the essay. So maybe you followed the structure which I showed you in the class, but still I think you're making very minor mistakes of grammar. And the problem is, even if you make one mistake of spelling or grammar in the essay, for example, the score drops a lot. That's a problem. If you think that your essay is perfect, then obviously you need to focus mainly on the summaries and listening, that's summarized spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, and write from dictation. As I explained, like these are the main 3 tasks in listening which will make your score of writing achievable. And that's where you're struggling. So just focus on the essay, summarize spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, and write from dictation. Just focus on these 4. I think you'll be through. Thank you. Okay, Rajan Patel has a comment. Hi sir, is it necessary to give examples in any essay? No Rajan, it's not necessary at all. But if you write words like for example, comma, or to illustrate, comma, these words are called academic writing words. So mainly these words can help you with your writing score. So actually it's not the examples which matter so much, but it's the words which you use in the examples which can make a positive difference on your score. So that's why maybe if possible you can give examples. The examples need not be real examples, you can just create a hypothetical example. For example, comma, according to a recent survey done by the New York Times, comma, 30% Americans ate junk food every day. Very simple example, So with an example, you can increase the words in an essay very easily, and you can include like certain very specific and articulate academic keywords which can help the score of writing go up. So if possible, do write examples. Yeah. All right. Okay, Akshay has a comment. Speaking is 85, reading is 82, listening is 72, writing is 76, and never got more than 74 in listening. Can you elaborate? Well, if listening is the problem, then as I said, the problem is twofold. There is a problem with your speaking, Akshay, and also with your actual listening. So in speaking, mainly you need to focus on repeat sentence, retell lecture, and answer short questions. These three. And I believe you would be accurate in your write from dictation. That's what I feel, because I know you've got 79 in writing in your early attempts. The only problem is listening, I know that. So you definitely need to work on your retell lecture, that's for sure. And you definitely are making mistakes in summarized spoken text, even that's for sure. So retell lecture and summarized spoken text are the main areas where you need to work. All right. So yeah, that's about it. Those are the main areas you need to focus on. Other than that, reading fill in the blanks, it's going like 50-50 these days. Many questions are coming repeated from the prediction files, and I believe PT has also added few new questions for blanks. So reading blanks definitely would require some practice. The more practice you do, the better it would be. And reorder paragraphs is generally always repeated. Most of the times they are repeated questions in reorder paragraphs. So that should not be that much of a trouble. That's what I believe. All right. Ganesh has a comment. I'm struggling in the reading section to get 65. Please advise me. So Ganesh, to get 65 in reading, you should focus on read aloud. Read aloud, the first task in reading, and summarize written text, the first task in writing. These two tasks themselves have enough power to push your score upward of 65. So these two tasks give you a lot of marks in reading, and along with that, just try to also practice a few blanks as much as you can. Yeah. And mainly it's read aloud. If you're good at read aloud, your reading score will go up very, very quickly. All right, I've got a comment from MS Sudarshan. I tried the PT mock test. I attended only SWT, SST and essay to know my skills in these sections. Surprisingly, I got 46 in writing skills, but I got only 10 in reading and listening. My question is, am I doing good in this section while looking at the marks? Well, if you got only 10 in reading and listening, then there's a problem, because the minimum score in reading, listening, speaking and writing is 10. So if you got 10 out of 90, it means that you got 0 in reading and listening. And from SWT, you should get marks in reading, and from SST, you should have got marks in listening. So if you got a 0 in reading, if you got a 10, 10 is 0 as I said, then obviously it's a big problem, because 10 is 0. So I don't know what you have done, how you have attempted these questions. I really don't know, but there is some issue, because you should have got some more marks in reading and listening as well. Yeah. So if there are any other questions, please ask me. I'm here to answer your questions. And yeah, I think that's about it. So guys, if you're stuck in listening and writing, mainly it's because of summarized spoken text, mainly. Because as I said, most of the people these days get repeated questions and write from dictation. So just practice summarized spoken text as much as you can, and listening fill in the blanks as much as you can. If you're listening and writing, these are your problem areas. And if you're stuck in reading and writing, then please focus on summarized written text and reading and writing fill in the blanks and the essay, because these three tasks could be the potential areas where you're stuck and where you're making mistakes. All right, so I think with that, we'll wrap up today's session. I tried to cover the major areas which I wanted to mention were, don't get swayed away by rumors. There are a lot of rumors in the market, like PT is going to change, PT has changed, this has changed, that has changed. Nothing has changed, everything is the same. So don't be fooled by people who are just, trying to feed you fear, because this is called fear marketing. People try to scare you with the changes which they think are happening, or they're just trying to make up these changes just to scare you and make money out of you. So don't be fooled by such people. Just stay away from such people. Use your common sense. Okay, I've got 2 more comments, 3 more actually. Rajan has a comment: is vocabulary important in describe, image and retell lecture? So in describe image, it's not that important. In retell lecture, try to focus on the words which are in the audio. The words are important. So in short, the answer is no, vocabulary is not that important in these 2 tasks. Excuse me. Okay, I've got a comment from Mehrang. And Mehrang says, my speaking is 84, reading is 76, listening is 66, and writing is 75. So how can you help me? Okay, so Mehrang, what you need to work on is obviously your speaking first. Speaking is 84, and unfortunately 84 in speaking is not enough. So try to improve the actual skill of speaking. Mainly try to focus more on read aloud, which I think you're good at, but still if you're making mistakes, you're fumbling, try to be very accurate. Secondly, work on repeat sentence, super important task. And thirdly, also work on answer short questions. Now, if you're stuck on 75 in writing and listening is 66, chances are very high that you've made mistakes in write from dictation or summarize spoken text or listening fill in the blanks. So this trio of 3 tasks, summarize spoken text, listening fill in the blanks and write from dictation, that's going to be around 9 questions approximately. So these 9 questions can change your life. Literally these questions can change your life for the good, and you can get your, 8 each desired score, obviously. So try to focus as much as you can, and in speaking, mainly focus on read aloud and repeat sentence. These are the 2 main areas which push up the whole score in the test. Alright. Jack has a comment. How can I get speaking 90? Well, it's not difficult, but requires practice. Secondly, it requires a smooth voice. It requires a lot of fluency. So you don't need to be too slow or too fast, and try to be very confident when you're speaking. Don't be nervous at all. If there's hesitation, if there is correction in words, like for example, if I say, hi, my name is Malcolm, very underconfident voice if we speak like that. So what happens in the real exam, everybody is generally around us, everybody is very loud, and that could also be a bit distracting. So try to, just filter everything out and just focus on your screen. Try to be very relaxed and try to be smooth and confident. The more smooth your voice is, the more confident your tone is, and the flatter your pitch is, the higher your score will be, because the clarity will improve definitely. So try to focus on those things. Thanks. Okay, Mamta says that I'm struggling in retail lecture. What could I do? Please help me. Okay, Mamta, what you can do is that, you can just, before the test starts, you can just prepare a sort of a note on the sheets which you get. For example, you can prepare the first line like the speaker was talking about, and then note down the first line of the lecture just next to it. And then you can just note down something else like, moreover, the speaker also mentioned about, and the second part you write over there. Then you can write, thirdly, the speaker mentioned about, the third line you write over there. Fourthly, the speaker mentioned about, the fourth line you write over there, or the 3 or 4 words. It's okay. Then again you can say, moreover the speaker said, furthermore the speaker said, moreover the speaker said, furthermore the speaker mentioned, moreover the speaker said. And then you can just conclude if you want, like to conclude, the speaker was talking about economic development in Africa. For example, whatever the audio is, the main topic, you can say it again. It's okay. So try to note it down on your sheet and then take the notes next to your notes which are already there. So you have the whole thing ready in front of you on your sheet and you just have to read it out. But don't be too fast and don't be too slow. And absolutely there should be no sound like it should be very fluent without hesitation. Hope that helps. Alright, last question from Indira. Hello sir, my score in speaking is 88, reading is 73, writing is 75 and speaking is 74. I'm sorry, I think you meant your listening is 74. I think you made some typing mistake. So Indira, you need to work on your speaking, that's for sure. Speaking has to improve, because even if you get 88 in speaking, doesn't mean that you're speaking in the correct way. Maybe you're making mistakes in read aloud, repeat sentence, retell lecture, answer short questions. So those are the reasons the score could be low. So try to focus on the correct way of doing things, instead of just getting 90. I mean, it's okay, you will get 90 if you do things correctly. Anyway, you will get 90. So try to do the things in the correct way. Don't take any stress, just be very smooth when you're speaking. And for writing, as I said, focus mainly on summarize spoken text, listen, fill in the blanks, write from dictation, and reading, drop down blanks. These are the main tasks. All right, thanks. Okay, I've got a last question from Ajay Avasthi, who is asking, hi, I'm attending the PT exam for the first time and I want to score 79 plus. I'm finding summarize spoken text tough. How can I validate if the answer that I'm writing is correct or incorrect? Well, the easiest way to validate would be you can check your answer on any text correction service like grammarly.com. So that would give you an idea how your grammar is, how your content. I mean, content idea won't come from Grammarly, obviously, but you can check it up on at least for the writing score, the writing part. If there are any mistakes, Grammarly will show it to you for free. So try to use such tools. And if you want, you can share your answers on our Telegram group, which is called PTE Tutorials. So if you just install Telegram on your phone and search @PTE Tutorials, that's the name of the group. There are a lot of tutors over there who will be there to help you out with that. So once you write an answer, feel free to share it over there, and then you'll get the feedback from the tutors. All right. So friends, I think with that, I'll end today's live session. I think I answered many of the questions. And again, I'm coming to the main point that don't be fooled by people who are selling you anything by saying anything. Use your own common sense. PT is a software, it's not a human being. And people will tell you anything because they think that you don't know anything and they think everything, something like that. So just use your common sense. I mean, there are a lot of people who have a good amount of goodwill in the market. So follow those people who have been in the market for a very long time, and hopefully they'll guide you on the right path. So I think with that, I'll end my live session. So friends, my name is Malcolm. Thank you so much. And think PT Tutorials. I'm Malcolm. Thank you.